Hey guys, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I wanted to go ahead and do a vocal coach reacts to Sebastian Bach. The band is Skid Row, and the song is called I Remember You. And the reason is that I had the luxury of growing up in LA all my life and hobnobbing with all of these different bands, and a lot of members exchanged members. I mean, Tracy Guns, LA Guns, slash Guns N' Roses, you name it. This is another band, Poison, Motley Crue, Van Halen. And so everyone kind of knew each other. I mean, they may or may not have liked you as much, but they might have respected you if you had good talent. And so this vocal coach reaction isn't some guy living in the Midwest who's just throwing something on the internet. This is a guy who lived through this stuff, and they know me and I know them, and everybody knows each other. So I'm trying to be responsible on how I react to this. And it's not going to be all let's worship 80s metal stuff, and it's not going to be all let's hate 80s metal stuff, but it's going to be hopefully a fair, balanced reaction to all this. So as we go through it, I'll play this here now. There's a concept he talks about at the beginning, and yes, I previewed the video where he says, everyone's supposed to hate everybody else and this and that, whatever. It's kind of ironic. We all love each other. Can't you see it? As he leaves the band because of ego, and as Axl Rose left Guns N' Roses because of ego, and as all these different players and whatever. So there is a lot of that, but that's not really what happened. What happened was everyone was just trying to get a record deal, man. They just wanted to get signed, and they wanted to play out, and they wanted to go out and do their thing and showcase their craft and their talent. And then later ego ensued, but that's where it gets the bad rap of what he's about to say. So we'll do the video first. We'll talk about it after. Here we go. Woohoo!
Because they say that, rock bands aren't supposed to get along, and this guy sucks, and this guy sucks, but we're all fucking together, man. Can you fucking feel it or what? Hook up to the sound of pouring rain. The wind will whisper and I think of you.
A lot of effect on his voice.
All the tears you cry that call my name. And when
Okay, by the way, I think this was the end of a tour they did with Guns N' Roses, and I saw them 1990, 91, 92, I forget. In fact, I think it says it here. Wembley Stadium, 91. I wasn't there. I was in LA, I saw him. So anyway, but it was around that time. It was a great concert, man. It rocked. It was like, wow. He's using a lot of effect on his voice. This was a midday thing too. When opening acts, they didn't get the big time slot. They got the opening slot. And what also is interesting is the band themselves. Everybody was great. They played their hearts out. They gave it, left it all on the field. Let's continue. Here we go.
I paint a picture of the days gone by, when love went blind and you would make me see. Well, I'd stare a lifetime into your eyes, so that I knew that you would never me.
Very flat, very flat.
Time after time, you would never me.
Okay, again, so the guy's got stamina for days, straight up, incredible range, super handsome guy, all that working for him. But the pitch isn't so great, right? I think it was Ted Nugent, I might have said this before. Ted Nugent had said something, love him or hate him, Ted Nugent, that if he could just get outside of his own ego and brain, he would just be a monster talent. Well, he's obviously, displayed that, but at the same time too, we can believe in our own press and think we're all that, but we're really not all that if we can't get those notes together with a lot of effect. Back then we didn't have auto-tune or Melodyne, all that stuff, so it was a lot of chorus, Boss 303, a lot of delay, a lot of reverb and stuff, and you can hear that going on here. So, and it's fresh in the day. Thankfully he doesn't look stoned, which is great. So let's continue.
Come on!
Remember you!
Through the sleepless nights, through every endless day, well, I wanna hear you say,
I version for me.
We spent the summer with the tide rolled down. Wished every after would be like this. You said I love you, babe, without a sound. Well, I said I guess for my life but just one kiss. Running for your smile and dying for your kiss.
Now he's digging in now. You can hear him, bringing it up, ramping it up. Maybe he should have saved some of that and make sure that all of it was even in how he did his performance. Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, I'm just calling it like it is, so love me or hate me, but again, I grew up around all this stuff. We're going to talk about Poison and Motley Crue and all these different bands that grew up. We shouldn't worship any of those bands. We should go, they made rock and roll history, and then let's do a takedown of what made them great and how can we get better. You know what I mean? Okay, let's continue. Hit that note. He's losing stamina and he lost strength.
And through the sleepless nights, through every endless day, well, I wanna hear him say, we've had our share of our times.
Good passion.
The price we paid, and through it all, we kept the promise that we made.
Good placement in the face to get to the promise that we made. Good placement. Okay, looking back at the drummer, they're gonna actually break into the song with the whole band. Here we go. Rubbing his head. It probably hurt a little bit. Look, he's drinking water. Good for you, dude. Good for you. You're not drinking Jack Daniels. That's great, man. Yeah, I know what that says. Here we go.
Just wait about 30 seconds. This will be done in a couple seconds.
Yeah. It'll be done if you fail.
Will I sleep never be lonely?
A lot of chorus, lot of effect on that voice right there. Player. He plays for the band, not for himself, which is great. Nice tone. Sounds like a Mesa Boogie.
Woke up to the sound of falling. Watch the wacky.
Then he sings like Richie Sambora.
Nothing else could ever take you away.
By the way, if you notice when the band kicks in, it kind of covers a multitude of sin. You can't quite tell how pitchy he is or isn't. It happens with a lot of groups. When you get board mixes, like all those YouTube videos floating around, it's kind of interesting because you can really hear the pitch of like what's really going on. And again, phenomenal talent, guys. Help write rock and roll history for 80s metal, in LA especially. But we're not going to worship that. We're going to look at it and say, how can we take that and apply it to ourselves to make ourselves better? And that's hopefully what we're doing here now. better save it. He's got a big note coming up here that he did on the record. Where's my... Where's all that stuff? He skated on that a little bit here. Good tone though. Good energy from the band. I think he missed his cue. I think he was going to say, "Welcome to the sound." And then he realized that that was the end of the song. He didn't quite finish it the way they had planned. But that's rock and roll. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, another iconic band. Great stuff, great band. Again, talent for days. Handsome guy, all that stuff. Is it worship worthy to the extent that it's like we can't hit this mark? Absolutely not. It's not. So I just want to say that, but I have to call a spade, and hopefully Motley Crue doesn't hate me, and Poison doesn't hate me, and there's other bands, a Rat. Maybe I do something with them. All these bands that came out of L.A., Van Halen. I'm not worthy. The David Lee Roth side, vocals could have been better when Sammy stepped up to the plate. They brought the band up a lot. So there were a lot of bands that came out of this era, and I'm going to pick them off one at a time and just give my honest, genuine vocal coach reacts to from a guy who grew up in this stuff, knows the guys. Sammy's my cousin, as you guys know. Sammy Hagar grew up in this stuff, and I know a lot. Ken, why didn't you make it then? Why weren't you in one of these bands? I'm going to tell you that because I get asked this a lot. There's a lyric conviction, speaking the lyrics, singing the lyrics, and a lifestyle conviction that I just couldn't find myself in, man. I didn't want to do the drugs. I didn't want to sing about girls, and these other things. In fact, I think Nikki Sixx said it best when their manager asked if I would consider trying out for the band, and I said I couldn't. Karabi took the gig, which is awesome, good for all them. But he said, I think Ken wanted to sing about something else, and that is the doggone truth. I have a conviction for how I wanted to influence my generation in the whole process of this. So thank you for joining me, Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof's in the singing. And until next time, peace out. Hey guys, if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. That will actually take you to another page where you want to click on the bell icon, and it opens up a menu, and the menu has notifications on it where there's a little box you can check where it says send me all notifications for this channel. Check the box and then click the save button, and you'll get notifications from me every time I have a cool video come out. Okay? Thanks guys. Peace out.